hello, and welcome to this exciting episode of Be Inspired Today. And today, God has blessed us with a phenomenal woman of God, an executive, a person who is committed to improving our community. Her name is Tammy Tumbling, and she is the executive director at the Orange County Community Foundation and founder of the African American Alliance Fund. Welcome to our show, Tammy. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much, Cliff, for having me on your show today.
Awesome, awesome. I'm truly excited, audience, to have Miss Tumbling on our show. She is going to help you and I hold on to positive expectations, which is hope. And never before has people needed to have hope in society today. So, with that being said, Tammy, tell the audience about how God has orchestrated your life and brought you to where you are today.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for having me on your show. I'm Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer here at the Orange County Community Foundation. And that alone is a true blessing to me because over 40 years ago, I was a 16-year-old young woman with a child and brothers and sisters that needed to be cared for by the age of 19 because our mother passed away. I'm a kid straight out of Compton.
Mm.
I feel blessed to have been a utility executive. I worked for Southern California Edison for 21 years. But before any of those things, I worked as a hair braider in my neighborhood. The kids in Compton, we figured out how to make money to help our families. And that's how I did it, is as a very young girl starting in third grade, helping my mom as a single mom, children of five. I was able to help her care for our family by working at a young age. And then from there, there's a vicious cycle. I became a young mom on welfare and food stamps. And I said, there has to be a way out. And so I thought about it, prayed about it. And upon the passing of my mother, I took custody of all my brothers and sisters who were younger than me. And I had a baby. And I said, I'm not going to let them go into the foster care system. For some reason, God blessed me with the timing of having my child. I had him by the age of 17, but my mom taught me for those 2 years how to be the best mother ever. And Cliff, she was actually getting me ready to take her children the rest of the way. So by the time she passed away 2 years later, I was able to take care of my brothers and sisters without having them go into the foster care system. And then here I am, fast forward, college educated, and I've been a corporate executive, and now I'm a C suite executive here in Orange County. God has so blessed me, and I'm so humble and so grateful because of that.
What a phenomenal story. What a phenomenal experience that God taught you from the very beginning how to be where you are today, helping people in the community. And often I've heard through executives like yourself, when you have a mission, you have to have a strong reason why you stick to the game and fulfill your vision. You want to talk about that a little bit more, especially about your younger siblings and your child?
Yes, with my brothers and sisters, they were very young. And those that are familiar with Compton, my younger sister went to Regina Chaley High School. So did my other sister, and so did I up to the 11th grade. And then I finished out because I had a child by the 11th grade, I finished at La Habra High School. But I still had younger brothers as well. One was at Linwood High School, and the other attended Whaley Middle School. I had to figure out quickly how to become a parent. And I suddenly, at the age of 19, had to learn out of love and respect for where my mother placed all of us in her list of priorities, which we were number one, next to God, her children. And so I believe that it was up to me to keep the family together because she taught me so much about the love of God and also the love of family that I would do anything for my brothers and sisters. So I worked extra jobs. I made sure that they went to school, they had their lunch, their clothes were clean. At 19, I didn't really know much about washing clothes. So yeah, I dyed a couple of their clothes pink. I put all the reds and the pinks together. And the meals that I but I got now I'm an expert at it now. But I think back in the day, not knowing how to cook or any of that, I would make SpaghettiOs and burn them at the bottom, and then try to stir it up, and all the burnt specks would come to the top of the SpaghettiOs. And my brothers and sisters was just they would just say thank you, Tam, and we appreciate you, and they'd eat it. And now as adults, they remind me, remember you make that nasty SpaghettiO stuff? But I literally had to learn
Ah,
because of love of family, how to care for my family. And I wanted to persevere because I wanted them to be okay.
I remember SpaghettiOs as well. It's been a while since I've eaten SpaghettiOs, but thank you for that reminder, because I'm the older brother as well. My younger brother is 6 years younger than me. My mom was a single mom as well. We lived in Avalon Gardens, not that far from Compton. And so she was off to work. Fortunately, she did live until I was 26 and my brother was about 21. So I understand that feeling, but at the age of 17, thank God I didn't have to do that at age 17. So we praise God for you. And I have to say this, there's this phrase or question. They say, "Can any good thing come out of Compton?" And Tammy Tumbling, we can absolutely say yes because of you.
Thank
And that
you.
reminds me, not that long ago, you were the ringmaster at the circus. And what was the name of the circus? I can't remember the name of the circus right there in Compton. And you did an excellent job.
It was called Universal Soul
It was,
Circus. They invited me to be their guest ringmaster so that they could recognize the work that I was doing in the community. And the circus actually was located at this particular time at the in the city of Compton. And since I was a kid straight out of Compton, they wanted to recognize someone that had grown up in the city and that was doing great things in the community. So I got an opportunity to be their guest ringmaster, and oh, what a good time I had, because I also had an opportunity to from the stage is introduce some amazing community leaders that are out there doing the great work that needs
yeah.
to be done in Black communities. So it was Universal Soul Circus, and I really had a great time being their ringmaster.
And I must say, my wife and I, we truly enjoyed it among with some of the other leaders like Bishop Ed Smith and his wife, and it was the best circus we've ever been to. The acrobats. I mean, they have so much talent, and again, you did a wonderful job as a ringmaster. You are helping African American led organizations through the African American Alliance Fund. Tell us what inspired you to start that?
The African American Alliance Fund, during a time when we experienced a lot of unrest and a lot of racial injustices against African Americans. And this was around 2020, May through June 2020. We lost people, wonderful people like Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd lost his life. And those were senseless deaths. And unfortunately, the world, we were all in the middle of a pandemic. We were all already in the homes with our families, and we were all stuck to the televisions and social media. So we all saw it at the same time this time. We all saw the senseless deaths of those people and so many more that I wanted to do something special. Yes, I'm here as the first African American Chief Operating Officer here at the Orange County Community Foundation, which means that I oversee HR, the IT department, marketing communications, new business development, but I'm still an African American woman who comes from a primarily, which at the time was a primarily African American community, and I've raised an African American family. So the things that happened during that time personally impacted me. So I wanted to do something external facing for African Americans, and that's by setting up what's called the African American Alliance Fund. And that was set up on Juneteenth, 2020, with $25,000 of my own personal resources. I set up a fund here at the Orange County Community Foundation, and it has now grown to a little under $1 million in 3 years. So it was set up on Juneteenth, 2020, with only $25,000 of my personal resources, and it became the first fund for African Americans by an African American philanthropist for supporting social justice, racial justice issues, supporting programs like education programs to help African Americans advance academically, health, which during COVID at that time, we were one of the larger numbers to get impacted by COVID because we had so many underlying health conditions. So I wanted to fund health programs. Human service programs are important in the Black community. And then also, policymaking is important. We
Yes.
have to get involved there. So civic engagement is another area that I support. And then the African American Alliance Fund also focuses on economic business development. A lot of new businesses were developed during COVID, and we want to make sure that we continue to support Black entrepreneurs and also really focus on workforce development. So that's what I did. And it was on Juneteenth, 2020. Who knew? Fast forward a year later, the Juneteenth became a federal holiday. Who knew? But I set it up on that day because I wanted it to always be remembered. Like, when was the first fund set up at the Orange County Community Foundation for African Americans? 30 years later, after the Orange County Community Foundation was established in 1989. And here it is in 2020, we still did not have a fund just for us. But it'll always be remembered that it was the first one for us. And we fund programs every year. We fund about 20 to 30 nonprofit organizations. On Juneteenth, on Juneteenth, we make sure that we give away dollars to Black led and Black serving nonprofit organizations.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We want to just celebrate you again.
Thank you.
It's not enough words to say thank you. And audience, I'm a personal testimony of how she is helping, and her organization is helping so many other African American led organizations, including Bishop Ed Smith, Nehemiah Project, LA, so many other organizations that I've witnessed myself. And so we'd love for you to support her organization and corporations. I'm sure you can use funding support from corporations and others who want to make donations. Isn't that right, Tammy?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the growth of the African American Alliance Fund from 25,000 to almost a million, and we give the money away as it comes in, we give it away back to Black communities. It's all through the generosity of Orange County residents and corporations and individuals, and we take any type of donation, but definitely we'd love to see the corporations get more involved because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to make sure that African American leaders and African American organizations that are serving African American residents, we want to make sure that we're out there and we're intentional and we're deliberate about funding programs that are helping with that advanced work. To our website is Orange County Community Foundation website, and click on donate, and under donate, look for the fund code AAAF, and that's on the Orange County Community Foundation website.
And also, you can scan the QR code with your phone, and it'll take you directly to the website as well. And so, Tammy, again, you're doing such a wonderful job. Tell us about some of the organizations that you have helped. Again, Bishop Ed Smith, Nehemiah Project LA. Tell us about some of the other organizations that you all have been able to help.
Sure, and I definitely want to focus a little bit on the Nehemiah Project because I fund also based on personal experiences. And their project with the Bishop Ed, they focus on foster care youth. And I was a foster kid at the age of third grade, I was in the third grade, and my family and I had to be placed in foster care. So that matters to me. So we have Nehemiah Project. We have the Black Chamber of Commerce. They have a scholarship program, the Orange County Black Chamber of Commerce. There's an organization called Council of African American Parents that helps to advance young students to help them matriculate from high school, and they stay with them all the way through the graduation, college graduation, and they provide a lot of parental engagement and parental education, and they make sure that the youth are prepared and ready to go to college and through college.
It's such a wonderful work that you're doing. What I'd like for you to do is impart to some young lady or some young man who is maybe they grew up in Compton, or maybe they may be watching from Harlem or Brooklyn, or the urban communities in Atlanta. Inspire them. What would you share with them, another 17-year-old young lady or young man that their life may not look like what it can be? Uh, Share some words of inspiration for them, would you please?
I was a young, very, very young girl when I lost my mother, and also and became a teen mom at a very young age. What I think will sustain any one of you, and don't be afraid. And if you are afraid, take that fear and turn it into courage. Turn it into endurance. Make it something that you can use to step upon as a stepping stone. So if you're afraid to step forward, step on top of that fear and be intentional and deliberate with where you want to go. And don't let society tell you anything other than how great you are. Don't ever forget that, regardless of what your life circumstance may be, regardless of how dark times may feel, always remember that you are a good person with a good heart and may have fallen down along the way, but know how to dust yourself off, stand up, and be courageous to use all of those life challenges as a stepping stone so that you can continue to walk toward your greatness. But the only person that can define who you are is you, not society. Society told me I was not going to be anything in this life. Once I became a teen mom, the way people looked at me was shunned. I didn't have friends because other moms were worried that pregnancy was contagious. So they shut me out, and I didn't have many friends. I just had my mother. And so just remember that regardless of what you're going through and whatever your darkest moment is going to be, that it's okay. But you have to remember too that, as I tell my children, I don't push what faith they have. They can choose to worship any way they want. Christianity is what saved me, because through prayer in my darkest moment, you have to have faith in something greater than yourself. And for me, it was God. It was prayer. Because some days it's going to get dark, but it's okay. Because use all of that as a stepping stone. Use that darkness for it to be time for you to be quiet. How they say, peace, be still. You want to make sure that you use that time to be still, to think, and to muster up the courage that it takes for you to get out of whatever situation you're in. And remember, it's just a moment in time. That situation is a moment in time. So your greatness is still there. And don't let anyone take that from you.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to remember that myself, as we go through what I call the gap. That's that place where God has us in sometimes, and we just have to just keep on leaping, to get to that place that God has for us. And now, Tammy, tell me this. What are some of the future plans? What's going on with the African American Alliance Fund and the Orange County Community Foundation? What are some of the things that are planned that you'd like to share with our audience?
Sure, the Orange County Community Foundation, we're doing some exciting things here. Just recently, we've set a 5-year goal, and our goal was focused on, we have 600 funds here, donor advised funds, and some are endowed funds here at the foundation. Our goal was to raise or to give away over $1 billion to the community over the 30 years that we've been in existence. And we're almost there. We're in the high million range, and we're going to meet our goal by 2024. And we want to make sure that as we're working on the African American Alliance Fund, that we continue to create other funds for BIPOC communities that are related to issues that are focused on racial justice, social justice, education. We're excited to use the African American Alliance Fund as a model to possibly build other funds like this, because we don't just give away money to the African American leaders and those that are serving African Americans. We convene them quarterly and we meet and we network and we provide resources for our African American Alliance Fund community partners. And oh, what a time we have together. What just kind of mentoring each other and networking with each other. But we also use it as a time to build capacity. And as a result of doing so, we will be receiving Stop the Hate funding, Orange County Community Foundation, and the African American Alliance Fund, focused on submitting a grant that's going to be led by our charitable ventures for about $450,000. And we did get the money. And we are going to be focusing on funding programs that are focused on stopping the hate. We want to stop the hate in Black communities, and we'll have more resources to do that. And we'll be doing it in partnership with Community Action Partnership of Orange County, the Orange County Community Foundation, African American Alliance Fund, community partners, and our fiscal partner, Charitable Ventures. So, such exciting times here at Orange County Community Foundation, and more to come.
Wonderful, wonderful. And for such a time as this, with so much racial hatred going on in our country, God bless you all for what you're doing. And before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience that I didn't ask you to share, or just something that's burning in your heart you'd like to share before we end this interview?
Yes, I have four amazing people that I want to thank that have been my mentors in their own way, and they have given me the courage to move forward. And that's my four children: Aaron, Ashton, Amanda, and my stepdaughter, bonus child, Sakai. Thank you for allowing me, as your mother, to step out over the past. Aaron will be 40 this weekend. Who knew? I'm 25. I don't know how my son is 40, but I am so happy to have had those four in my life, because they've given me the courage and the motivation beyond my brothers and sisters. After raising them, they have given me the courage to step out and be fully who I want to be and walk in my purpose. And they're the ones that motivate me every day, and they now coach me and mentor me and move me along. So I just want to make sure that I also say, as a mother of four, I am so proud of them, and I want to publicly thank them for everything they do every day to motivate and inspire me to keep doing more for our community.
That's so wonderful, so wonderful. More of us need to acknowledge our children, and I acknowledge my three children, my two sons and my daughter, because they inspire me every day. Of course, my wife does as well, but sharing that inspiration with your children can do wonders, because we know that they're going to be the next leaders of our country in this world. So thank you for sharing that, Tammy. And we just want to just say, God bless you, you and your family and your organization, for all that you do. God loves you, audience. I hope that you've been inspired to hold on to positive expectations like I am. God loves you, and so do we.